When you're doing something where you're contracted to do it, I'm going to explain a story to you. You have got to expect the unexpected with this stuff. So I show up to a job. I speak to the homeowner, who ultimately is going to be the guy that's going to be paying me. I have no idea that he has an architect at this point. I do a job specific to what he's telling me to do. This is a very expensive driveway. Done the way we all agree. Halfway, not even halfway, 1/3 into it, I make cuts along a garage. I do shit like that. Everything's okayed. Now,
this is cuts to realign things, or what?
Yeah. So when I'm doing this driveway, there's two different options. The house is square to the road. The garage is not, and it's pretty drastic.
Yeah.
Don't know why they would do that in the first place, but either way, it's drastic. I could change the entire driveway to the angle of the garage.
Which wouldn't make sense because you're aligning it to the road.
I'm aligning it to the road, and I'm aligning it to the house that you're looking at. This garage is like a sidestep to it. Now, this is all explained. I said, hey, we can do it to the garage if you want, but it would look much better this way because this is a grid system. Like the way this driveway looks like, it looks like one big grid. Being square to things matters, meaning like this massive house. This is an expensive job. It looks beautiful. I get done 3 days worth of work. It's all laid. After everything's been okayed, understood. At that point, I do the cuts along the garage. It's all been explained.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pie slice because it's off. Get done that. 3 days later, everything's concreted in. Everything's done. I'm 2 hours away from a 9-day job.
Yep.
2 hours away from finishing it and getting paid. In comes this architect. That is, the guy's building a huge addition to this house. Architect comes in. He's 94 years old.
Now, you said 94?
94. So when he comes in, he's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Right?
Esmeralda.
Can barely walk up the driveway. He's screaming in my face. He wants me to rip up the entire driveway and start fresh. He wants me to align it with his garage that he fucking cockeyed.
No, not once. He's ordering you to.
Oh, no, he's ordering it. And he's screaming at me, telling me that the homeowner has to deal with this for the rest of his life. It should have been done this way. I try explaining to him. The guy who owns the house is with me. I'm like this, hey, do you not recall 12 conversations of us doing this? I said, not to mention, 5 days ago, I made the cuts along the garage. You said you loved them. Everything was good. Everything's perfect. The job's done.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Guy comes in, flips out on me. Says I'm going to rip up this entire driveway. Guys, when I say this driveway took 9 days to do, to redo will take me 18. It's massive. It's wicked heavy product. It's crazy. I have to bust up all the concrete edge restraint just to move the whole thing like this.
Yeah, you got like a 9 degrees.
Yes, and it probably isn't even that much. Obviously, I'm refusing. This is nuts. I make a compromise after it's all said and done with both of them. It's going to be okay. But my point is, if you don't do everything in your power, meaning if you're doing a job, you better. This is such a big deal.
You don't assume shit.
This is a lot of money. If you don't make a plan and have someone stamp it, sign it, everything before you do something, you're screwed, because you can have a million conversations with someone and it comes back to bite you. Thank God I could talk my way into making sense. The way I did it is the right way anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And after I explained the way it would look if I did it the other way, oh, of course, the homeowner's like this. I am so glad you showed me the way it would look before you rip this up. We're sticking with it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I'm not going to do something that looks stupid. My way looks good. Architect's a 94-year-old retard.
Yeah.
Can't do it. But anyway.
He's got his finger in your face, screaming at you.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Screaming
Imagine
at
that.
me. All right, listen. 2.5 hours of him and I.
In a heat wave.
Yeah, in a heat wave, him screaming at me and me saying things like, get your finger out of my face, we're going to have a problem. That type of conversation.
So he was trying to bully you into working for free.
And he was saying, you're going to do it. You're going to get your machinery. You're going to come back and you're going to do it right this time. The first time should have been done right. He's going to deal with this for the rest of his life. You're going to walk away from this thing and he's gonna deal with it. You come back with that machinery, do it right now.
Wow.
It was like that.
It's a grown man.
I was like, get the fuck out of my face. It was crazy.
A grown man screaming at your face is as good as a grown man crying in your face.
And he basically, that's exactly what I picked. By the end of the conversation, thank God, this architect started mentioning options. They were so outlandish that I was walking on the side of him in the and you know, the actual guy that owns the place.
Excuse me.
I was walking on the side, I'm like this, he's just being stubborn now. He's just being stubborn. I was trolling him at the end of this. I was like, he's just being a stubborn guy now. He's just not making any sense. I'm like, that would look so stupid. The guy's like, that would look stupid. I'm like, he's being stubborn. He's just being stubborn now. It was funny. It was actually nuts by the end.
How did your brother react to the story?
He was nervous, but luckily everything was healed up. But he was nervous at the beginning. I did him a solid, and I gave him the end result beforehand, because he would have been. If my brother was there might have been hands thrown. Yeah, it would have been that bad. It was nuts. Anyway, that's my story.
I mean, the guy would literally die, and your brother would be in jail.
Yeah, all it would take would be like, you could like take your toes and hit his hip, and it would like pop off. It'd be like Beetlejuice.
And then it'd be a head going 40 miles per hour into concrete.
Yeah. It would be like you hit it with a car.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, like parts of his body would break off like Beetlejuice. Be bad.
Cocksucker.
It'd be like Roger Rabbit, and he gets like flattened out.
Yeah, exactly.
You dip him in the tune juice.
Yeah, I'd be backing up, and he'd be riding up like the roller.
It's Christopher Lloyd you're backing up into.
Yeah, he'd be in the vibratory roller.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine screaming at a guy in his face like that. That's the gayest fucking homo shit I've ever fucking known. Anyone screaming in my face, I know he's a faggot.
I wish you were there.
Excuse my language.
Because you and I would have been crying, because you know how insane the situation is?
Yeah.
You would have been saying the funniest shit.
Dude, I would have been beating off all down his throat.
Yep. Oh my God, I just can't.
Probably would have turned him around and fucked him up his ass in front of his whole family.
This never happens with me. Like,
imagine someone screaming and talking shit to Eric. Anyone ever consider that? How like an antichrist that is?
Oh my God. Yeah, it was Antichrist.
It's Antichrist. Yeah, he was an Antichrist.
Sure
if anyone
was.
knows what we mean by that.
Yeah, he sure was one. Charles, you see that guy that was in a bucket truck that gets smoked by the 18-wheeler?
I did see that, and I was happy to not see fucking guts everywhere.
I want to see, yeah, exactly. It's not gruesome, but I want to see this, because this is so funny. There's a lot of things that can be avoided here. The guy in the ground's doing his job. Let's see if we can roll it. See that guy in the bottom? He's doing his job. He's like this. Go that way. You can't go this way. There should be cones.
Yeah, why wasn't he standing there for the clearance?
See all the cones under the truck?
Yeah, why weren't they right there?
They should be lining that lane.
And what, catching a 200-something pounds from that height? Oh!
Oh my God, imagine that.
Yo, that was so fast.
Do it again, please. Watch his hands.
Is he out?
Watch this guy on the ground. Watch his hands at the beginning.
Sorry, just...
Yo!
Now, hold on one sec. Let's get it all the way to the beginning. Watch him trying to motion to the tractor trailer. Look at him.
Oh no, dude! That wouldn't if that was you up there and that was me. That wouldn't happen.
You would have got hit by the truck before I did.
Are you kidding me?
You don't. Oh, he just backs like.
He starts crying.
That's so bad, but there should be. I mean, you got to cone off this crap, but I couldn't believe that blow.
Dude,
that's such a. And now, he's also in the bucket truck. You don't think he just presses up?
Oh,
like look at this. No. He braces. Why don't you just press up?
Oh, they must have.
Maybe the thing's malfunctioning.
They must have not had any idea that someone would do that.
Final Destination thing. He's like pressing up, and it's like he's sweating.
Yeah, he presses up. It's slowly bleeding out the hydraulics to take the real hit. But yeah, that's definitely.
Yo, look at that.
I think that guy's he's gonna get a sweet ass lawsuit. But you know what? It's gonna happen. They're gonna be like this. You didn't caution anything off. It's not his fault.
I mean,
You know,
He
I mean,
he doesn't have the sign. You know, you need like the yield.
Yeah.
sign.
And if you don't have a sign what the height of the clearance is, it's not. There is no clearance.
Yeah, yeah, he's screwed probably. But
Wow,
that
man.
was a hell of a blow.
Dude, I can't imagine that. Guy's like he's not dead.
I think he escaped with no injuries.
yeah, he's all good.
Is he going to escape with some money though?
I bet still. I mean, how the hell could you? You have to be able to.
Man.
Especially if the bucket thing's not working.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be something. Antarctica, huge news. Radio waves coming from below the ice.
Really?
Yeah. This is why ice was pushed so hard in the news, and then the Iran situation intensified to draw attention away from it all.
So it's to push
amazing.
Antarctica out?
It is amazing how quickly things go from like immigration and ice is everything.
Yep.
And then all it takes is one quick switch and everything's gone. Now, I actually even on social media, I was seeing ice everywhere, deporting people, blah, blah, this thing's kicking up. And then gone.
Yep.
As soon as Iran and Israel comes up, immediately, you don't see one thing again.
Weird, isn't
Isn't that unbelievable how they can shut things off and twist things?
Yeah, that's how I guess how it's always been. But there's more lore in Antarctica. Well, let me just say this.
Yeah.
I will say that the punishment for some of the angels falling to this earth and raping the human women in order to mock God with their hybrid offspring, because the mankind was elevated above humans. Mankind was elevated above angels, and they were like, "That's crap. These guys are losers. We're going to go down there and rape the women, and then they're going to
Mix
have
them
our
up.
children." Yeah, and that's why the flood came.
Oh, okay.
That's why the flood came.
How come mankind was above angels?
That's because we were made in God's image,
Okay.
and He loved His children more than angels. Angels are algorithmic machines. I guess apparently they have some sort of free will if they can go there and rape.
I would say so.
You got to have free
You
will
gotta have
to
as
rape.
much. That's actually. That's,
You gotta have freedom to
that's
rape.
choice.
Yeah, but some of the lore that you're probably not familiar with, that I wasn't familiar with, is that some of the angels, as punishment for that, are chained at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
There are some angels chained, unable to move, in perpetual torture at the bottom of the ocean for eternity. And that, I mean,
Was that for the raping mixing?
Yeah, that was for that, straight up, to come here and do that and to oppose God's will. Some of them were chained, and that's been said about the Titans after Kronos was deposed. The Titans, Zeus, and the whole Olympian pantheon chained the Titans in places, turned them into mountains, chained them in the bottom of the ocean. Like Atlas was a Titan. He was forced to hold up the pillars of the earth or hold up the earth as punishment, and that's what he does. Those are biblical God punishments right there.
Damn.
But you could say the radio waves. I mean, I don't believe news stories, but if we're gonna speculate about this stuff, you could say that could be fallen angel activity. You could say it's Cthulhu. You could say it's elder gods too. Same thing. Huge amphibious fish gods are ancient, scary demons.
Anything like that seems the scariest of all.
So scary.
Slithering fucking nightmares.
Like the void of creation, the void of the waters, even before the formation of the material realm. It's all just a living hell of chaos and killing and fish gods.
It's like war, fish lords.
That's scary.
Yeah. That's insane.
Insanely
So-
scary.
It's so funny because I'm thinking about stupid stuff like, when you say nonstop chaos?
Yeah.
Nonstop chaos, war, all this stuff. Immediately I think, man, when do they sleep? Isn't that funny? Isn't that nuts to think about?
I don't think they do.
They don't sleep. It's just straight war.
It's straight war and it's
Slithering.
straight water in every direction.
Everything's
forever.
maritime.
That's why everything's maritime, because we're surrounded by the abyss, and who knows? And there's even abyss separating even parts of hell. Like even parts of hell are separated. Hell has. You don't think hell has cities? in society like we do.
Hell has walls.
Hell hath cities. Yeah, hell has walls. Hell has rivers that are void that you cannot cross. Remember Gladiator? Remember Elysium?
Yep.
Remember where the good people go and die? That's mentioned in the Bible. It's a cubic place that's a perfect resting place for the righteous that is surrounded by hell, and that the people can't even cross
to it.
The void river. There's rivers of water, the rivers of blood, but there's rivers of void that cannot be traversed that separate the righteous from the unclean.
Damn.
That again is scary as fucking hell.
I just like, you almost don't want to believe these things exist. You really almost
I
don't.
really don't want to believe.
I know.
X-Files, I've been watching a lot of X-Files lately.
Yeah, it's getting in your head.
So good. I want to believe, dude. I don't want to believe.
No.
I really don't. Because it's so dark and it's so silly. But I don't know how everybody's got to eat.
Everybody's gonna eat, and that actually seems like if there's something to grab from all of this,
Yep.
that's what it is.
Everybody's got to eat.
Everybody's gonna eat, and the whole God-fearing thing
Yeah.
that we said years and probably a year ago now.
You know, like it's yeah. Go ahead.
Knowing this stuff, the stuff you tell me, and the stuff that blows your mind,
Yeah.
is what makes God-fearing.
Yes,
Doesn't it really seem
that's
that way?
fear. Like hell or eternity or even being completely erased, like you were never conscious and you never will be conscious.
Right.
That's fear.
That's fear.
That's fear.
That's where I think this God-fearing thing comes from.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, your God's a piece of shit. He's going to bust your balls
No.
if he doesn't like you. No, this retribution and judgment, I think you cannot escape. Even if God's like, I don't want to judge that guy. I think no matter what, there are immutable laws of this
there's
creation
rules.
that cannot be penetrated.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not going to get an opinion-based ruling.
Nope.
It's going to be black or white.
Ooh, it's like the chessboard.
Yeah, just like it.
It's scary.
Yeah, I know. That's fear.
That's fear. But see what you can do with the news with just words and search results. Mm-hmm. You can just and there are more. There are thousands and millions of examples. But that's a really good one. ICE. People searching for ICE. Antarctica. Now you get immigration enforcement.
Immigration. Yep. And then it switches right to Israel and Iran. And who knows? Maybe that'll be gone in a week, and then it's forgotten.
It definitely will be, because again, the only thing that matters is if you're being replaced in your own homeland.
Yep.
But then again, does it matter if if there's one God and he loves his children and you try to be righteous? Does that matter?
I know.
I'm not going to sit here and say that you should get replaced in your own homeland, but it's not. It's something that takes a certain tact to deal with. That it's way, way above my pay grade. I'm not going to be organizing militias.
But it does seem like you'd be just almost scratching the surface of a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in other words, is how big on the scale of God-fearing are we talking about
Yeah.
right now? And then we're talking about something like that. You're only scratching the surface of what you should be fearing.
You should fear the eternal, not the life.
Right.
Not the life in this world.
It seems like very small problems,
Yeah.
I guess, in a weird way.
So I fear less hell breaking loose in this country and in our homeland. That is less to be feared than eternity in the afterlife.
Right. Exactly. And I think we should...
That could be a cop-out. That could be a cop-out. That could be a slave manual. Now, I have to say that. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I can't put that out. You know what I mean? Like the whole Bible could just be to get you to not install yourself as a ruler instead of, it might get you to tolerate your rulers and your slave masters. So there's only faith, because you can't prove which way or the other.
How the hell are you going to decide what is the rule to follow?
You can't.
From a book or whatever it could be, I guess. It's such a hard thing, huh? But I guess you have to... Instinct is your Bible.
Yeah. Intuition and faith. But it's hard. It's hard to grow faith because the world erodes it. It takes it from you.
Well, someone's got to eat.
Someone's got to eat. It's unbelievable. The thing about this world is that money is printed.
Yeah.
If money is printed, why are there fees to anything?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that. If I knew more about money, I'd have more. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
That's so silly.
It is.
I feel like we need to turn the lights off and get a fire going. These scary stories.
I know, it is. It's kind of good. This is a haunted night.
Yeah, it is a haunted night.